Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we are live here for now what is the penultimate round of this amazing season 4 here in Sunday League F1. A bit of technical difficulties starting the stream, but it's all sorted now. Just gonna lower the audio a little bit so we are all good for the stream, and here we go. I am BS Gabri once again to present you the Spanish Grand Prix tonight. Unluckily, once again, without Jaden, so it's gonna be a solo commentary once again. But like always, we will try our best, and I will take you through this Spanish Grand Prix as qualifying has already started. The short qualifying because of just 16 drivers, and yeah, just started from since 5 minutes, I think. Because there are 30 minutes and a half left on the clock, and at the moment it is Falcon in McLaren with the fastest lap of the session. Now, gonna mention something important, because last round I was so excited announcing that Gerbal won his 4th title when it's actually not the case, because I mean, it was a mistake of mine. I just made a mistake with the maths when I was looking at the standings, because I got a little bit confused because it was Noah who was out of mathematical contention, but I completely forgot that Falcon won the race, therefore gaining points on Gerbal, meaning that Falcon is not out of mathematical contention for the World Championship. And also as well, me forgetting that we have a sprint format in next week's race, the final race, that will be in Brazil. We have a sprint there, so the point gap is gonna be higher for the mathematical contention. And also a quick note, because Falcon he has a chance of winning on countback if somehow they end up having the same points by the end of the season, him and Gerbal. So this means that after the Spanish Grand Prix tonight, if the gap is bigger than 34 points, so if Falcon gains on Gerbal less than 6 points, Gerbal will be champion. And well, this also means that if Gerbal finishes ahead of Falcon, he is champion. So what I said last week wasn't true. Gerbal didn't win mathematically, but like, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but like 99% it is confirmed, because we will need Gerbal to DNF and Falcon pull off a masterclass of winning the last 2 races. But like the problem by itself is not Falcon being able to win, because he's definitely capable to win. The thing that is unlikely is obviously for Gerbal to DNF in both races. So but mathematics, we cannot confirm anything until the maths say so. And once again, it was my mistake in the last race. So if Gerbal ends up winning tonight, whatever I said last season, I mean whatever I said last week will count as well in here for all of the comments about Gerbal's performances and whatsoever. But anyway, as we see Falcon on his 2nd push lap and spinning around turn 8, a very, very difficult corner of this track. And now that we're here, let's also talk about the track, because Spain, it is very well known for being the most average track. I mean, it is the track that quite literally has everything. The layout, although we have to say it changed a lot since 2021 or 2022 actually, with modifications around the turn 10. We can see now the Sauber of Marvin going the new turn 10. This was the layout that was in 2022, and since 2023 going downhill there is no chicane anymore. It is just 2 flat corners down to the finish line. So this is the layout that has been out since last year. That was faster than 2022, and 2022 was faster than 2021. But again, even with these modified layouts, it still remains the track that has a little bit of everything in terms of corners. You have chicanes, low speed corners, high speed corners, long corners, short corners, going downhill, going uphill. You quite literally have everything, and also straights that are quite important to maximize. Spain, it is a technical track. Yes, you do need downforce to set a fast lap around here, but you cannot afford to be a boss down the straight, because especially in the race it will matter a lot. If you're on the main straight or on the straight just before turn 10, the DRS between turn 9 and turn 10, if you're too slow there, then you might actually encounter quite a lot of issues with so many cars just completely flying past you with that low downforce setup, preferring straight lane speed, which is not to completely sacrifice. So setups will be very hard in that manner, very difficult to find the right balance, because you really need to be fast, both in the corners and the straights. So that's what's gonna make a huge difference in both qualifying and the race as well. As we can see now, the 3-time world champion currently in P11, being let me see the gaps, being 1.7 seconds off pole position. I have no idea if that's sandbagging or anything, or maybe it's just purposely going slow for a last first. It is what he, not exactly what he did last week, but last week he still tried a last first, getting purposely disqualified in Suzuka, and then to attempt a beautiful recovery from P17, it was, I think, to P2 under the rain in Suzuka. Was seriously a beautiful drive. No idea if he's gonna try that again or not, but P12 as it stands, and we'll have 6 minutes and a half left to see if that's gonna be such a position or not. So who else do we have without a lap? We have U Division still in the pits, and Quaxel, who retired for some reason. I'm not sure if he crashed or something. No idea what happened. I might have missed that, but yeah, it looks like Quaxel won't be able to set a lap time in qualifying. He will start from P16. And who else do we have? Aiden Jones is pushing, who is currently down by 75 thousandths after turn at 5, now going uphill into 8 and flats out into 9. DRS after the apex, oh actually he's not pushing, he aborted the lap. So who can watch? Baby Don't Hurt Me, he improving by, oh not improving actually, he was gaining in the first sector, but lost it in the second sector, and starting the third sector, massive oversteer through turn 11, and that's just completely ruined his lap time. What about Gerber? Oh, Gerber is pushing. I didn't see the improvement there, but I think he's off to an improvement now, going downhill into 13 and 14, flat out the both of them. Overtake after the apex, DRS over the line, it's 13.0, improving by 5 tenths, but still in P9. And to me, it doesn't look like Gerbal is sandbagging on purpose. Like, might this actually be some pace issue? Because that's rare. I mean, I get that Spain is not a track where everyone can be fast. It is difficult for some, but I definitely didn't expect to see Gerbal in P9. And once again, I cannot understand if that's his real pace or not, but I guess we'll see later on. But right now we are watching Marvin in the Sauber, finishing sector 2, improving by 4/10. It's purple sector 2, but that's probably relative to Cam, Tate, Gerbal and maybe Hormy, because those are the drivers in the leaderboards. In his POV, that's what the game uses as a reference for purple sectors. But we see just a moment, where does he put himself? P4, just ahead of his teammate Flanken. Exactly 5/10 of pole position, and it looks like a very solid job for the Sauber drivers. Currently in P4 and P5, looking forward to get some very good and useful points fighting for P8 in Constructors. Constructors that, now that I think about it, Red Bull and Williams, they have only 12 points, and there is only 21 points between Red Bull and McLaren. We might actually see a three-way battle for the Constructors' Championship, which I think is gonna be extremely exciting to see. So yeah, every point will matter. The drivers from all three of these teams are gonna give their absolute best into the last two races, because every result matters. They cannot afford to make mistakes if they want to secure the Constructors' Championship. Driver standings, it is looking like in the favor of Gerbal, but Constructors, it is looking very solid. Red Bull, Williams and McLaren, three teams that have always put extremely great performances at every single race, so it will be very exciting. And talking about these three teams, we have Falcon now on his outlap, currently on pole position with an 11.872, which is a very fast lap time, and we'll see in just a moment if he can improve even further. He's going now going downhill into the last corner, flat out, and now onto the main straight, commentating a lap around Spain here in the onboard of Falcon in McLaren. Now reaching a top speed of 324 km/h, braking into turn 4, immediately into turn 2, and now flat out into turn 3, stay all the way to the inside, and now go wide, ending sector 1, improving now all the way up to the inside into turn 4, and now, ooh! I don't know what happened. Gerbal was disqualified for the session. I think Gerbal tried to disqualify himself on purpose, but it was exactly on the racing line, and that got Falcon very off guard, and he will not be improving. So we'll try and comment it again with Aiden Jones. Let's see if the Williams driver, currently in P2 and his teammates in P3, let's see if Aiden Jones can challenge Falcon for pole position after his mistake. Now braking into turn 1 uphill and immediately into turn 2, taking out of curb and flat out into 3, stay all the way up to the inside, and now wide on the exit, preparing for turn 4, improving by 50 thousandths for Aiden Jones. All the way to inside, and now going downhill, trail braking for turn 5 with a little bit of a lockup, going slightly wide for Aiden Jones, but taking a lot of curb on the exit, downhill into 6, and now uphill into 7 and 8, watch out for the traction, very difficult corner, and now flat out into turn 9, all the way up to the inside, and now DRS on the straight, ending sector 2, it's improving by 1/10, it is still not enough. Now going uphill into turn 10 and 11, and braking for turn 12, all the way to the inside, very difficult corner, and now two flat out corners, downhill, turn 13, and now turn 14, using all the energy. Can Aiden Jones snatch pole position out of Falcon's hands? No, he can't, by just 1,000 of a second, by just 1,000 of a second, Falcon maintains pole position. A beautiful lap from Aiden Jones, but it is ever so slightly not enough to get that first position. Still on the front row, but it is Falcon who secures pole position by the smallest of margins ever. And what a qualifying result this was. What a exciting qualifying to see. And I think this should be the official results. Actually, no, Arenby goes third, improving by 2/10, snatching off third position from Aiden Jones' teammate, Rees, who has been demoted into P4. And what a qualifying. It is Falcon on pole position by just 1,000 of a second. Look at that. That is simply lovely. Aiden Jones with a beautiful lap. Unfortunately, he will only have to settle for P2, as Arenby also flying in P3 and Franken actually getting P4 in the end. Rees in P5 and Cam in P6. Then we have Marvin in P7, Tate in P8, Danielson in P9, Bevinholm in P10, Max P11, U-Division P12, Harv P13, EGT 14, then Quaxel in P15 and Gerbal, who will start on purpose in P16. He was a P17 to P2 last week in Japan. Let's see if he can do that again here around the Barcelona de Catalunya track. I don't know if that's the official name or not, but well, doesn't matter. So, beautiful qualifying to see. And so I'm sure the race will be at the same level. Obviously, strategy will be extremely crucial today. The front tires, they definitely are under a lot of stress, especially the left one. So strategy will be crucial, managing the tire where undercut is very powerful. But you can also make an overcut work if you like really push, but it is difficult. So it will be definitely difficult for these drivers. But we see in just a moment the 5 red lights are on and it's lights out, and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. And Falcon we have to battle Aiden Jones already off the starting line, as Aiden Jones has the inside line. Forza 1, will he make a move? Yes, he does. He already takes the lead into the first corner as everyone gets past the first apex. No scrambles at the moment, and it is Aiden Jones who gets the lead after turn 1, and Falcon following very closely. Rees trying to make a move on the Sauber of Maverick, now going side by side through turn 4. Who's gonna be ahead between the Williams and the Sauber? The Sauber maintains, oh, there's contact made between the Williams and the Sauber, but the Sauber still holds off in P6. He has the inside line, he's maintaining position already. A lot of battering through the first lap. Rees going off track, there might have been track limits and almost unsettling his car. Youngest Harvest crash, we have a DNF and a safety car already on the first lap. Harv has crashed on the exit of turn 4 on the left hand side. We already have a full safety car after the first lap. So already a lot of action, but the race has already been neutralized, and we can see the position changes as Aiden just got the lead already off the start. Cam improving by 1 position as well. U-Division, EJT, Gerbal and Quaxel, also the 4 of them gaining on the first lap. Max and Bevinholm with not the greatest of starts, losing 3 positions and 5 positions respectively. Bevinholm, who is actually pitting, but he got some damage, and we can see already Falcon is the only one on the hards as a first stint. It might be an interesting choice, but will it pay off? As Falcon and okay, I thought they were overtaking each other. Bevinholm changing his front wing, so he had damage. He apparently got into a scramble during that first lap chaos, and ended up having wind damage to repair into the pits. Now going on to the hard compound, but Falcon was starting on the hard compound, which might have been the reason why Aiden Jones got such a good start and already ahead of Falcon into turn 1. And well, now it's gonna be difficult at the restart, because already by themselves the tires are extremely cold at a safety car restart, and the hards are even colder. They are so difficult to warm up. Falcon is gonna have to put a lot of stress onto those tires to make them work as effectively and as quickly as possible, so that he can have a chance of getting the move done against Adrian Jones to get the lead back. So it looks like most of the grid is doing a medium hard, with the exception of Falcon aiming for a hard medium. And then we have 4 soft runners. I'm not sure what are they gonna do. Probably soft hards, or maybe they had the softs probably gambling for a safety car early. I mean, not as early as lap 1, but like in 4 or 5 laps or so. Or maybe they could have so much talent to pull off a soft medium, which a soft medium, which it is very hard. I don't think it is a strategy you want to do like as plan A, like a strategy regardless of safety cars, because tire wear is heavy, especially on the softs. So I think soft hard is their choice. But anyway, choosing the softs to make an aggressive start, maybe in this first stint in the early laps, being very aggressive, trying to pull off many overtakes, and then for a more conservative stint on the hards later on. But we'll see, it is still too early to judge. We'll see in these 30 laps left of this Spanish Grand Prix, and obviously nothing has happened yet. Harv retired, yes, but nothing has happened now that can change the course of the race later on. Quite literally everything can still happen. Which makes it completely unpredictable to see who's gonna have the best race out of all these drivers. Safety car is back into the pits. Adrian Jones will lead the restart here on lap 4. Around the last corner. Very late restart by Adrian Jones, and now he is gone. Very much later, after the last corner on the straight, he has now restarted the race, and Falcon is trying everything he can to get the slipstream, staying all the way behind his gearbox, but it is not enough. Too early to make a move. Now all he needs to focus on is to make those hard tires work, because he cannot afford to lose that much time. A lot of battling here in the bottom midfield between Denison, EJT and Gerbal, fighting U-Division as well for these last points taking positions, as U-Division is trying the inside. Reese as well losing position to Cam on the inside of turn 5, and they're still banging wheels. Reese going a little bit of track on the curb there, but he's still trying to hang it. Ooh, contact again. Reese, ooh, also on oversteer, and Marvin has to take evasive action. Lots of battling here. 3 wide almost through turn 9. There's contact. Tate has been almost spun round, and Denison is off. He's into the gravel. Marvin as well with not exactly a great turn 9. The Mercedes completely setting it on the inside. Absolute chaos here at the restart. Falcon now in being demoted into P4. Now fighting with Allen by side through turn 13. Falcon gets ahead, and Flanken gets ahead as well in P2, and now this is crucial because Adrian Jones has no DRS train behind him. There is only a gap of 1.2 seconds, which is not enough for DRS. Lots of battering on the straight as well. Tate defending for P9, and maybe not Hornby trying to attack Marvin as soon as he can for P12. There was a lot of scrambling in the lower midfield earlier, but now Marvin trying the outside line actually for turn 4, and there's a Mercedes off. It is EJT is off into the gravel. He's now down into P15, overshoot the corner, and now he's off the track and rejoined back. 11 seconds off the leader and 2 seconds behind Denison. Now Marvin fighting with Max side by side, and he gets the position down just before turn 9, but they're still battling. Now Gerbal in all this battling, he's now into P6, and Falcon is battling with Reese going uphill into turn 12. Reese is still trying to hang it around the outside, but it's not enough momentum to keep going. Falcon has the arrest to Allenby. Allenby does not have the arrest on Flanken, and Flanken does not have the arrest on Aiden Jones. So we might see actually Reese trying to go for a move there. Maybe for a double overtake before someone side by side with Falcon. He has overtaken Allenby. Can he overtake Falcon as well on the inside of turn 3? Yes, he can. He's now into the podium positions as Falcon has to defend from Allenby. He has the outside line of turn 4. Allenby still tries to stick it in the inside, and now in the braking of turn 5, who's gonna be ahead between Allenby and Falcon? Falcon still trying to hold off with those hard company. Allenby gets a much better exit on the mediums. He's now in P4, and Falcon feeling the pressure from his championship rival right behind his gearbox. Gerbal with a beautiful start already on lap 6. He's already in P6, the Red Bull. There is no stopping for him. They didn't hurt me. Ghosting, he might have had some oversteer around turn 8. Now he's down in P14, and Aiden Jones is obviously loving all of this battling behind him, because he can now try and get a win with all of the calm in the world. And look at Gerbal now, just completely flying past on the straight, overtaking Falcon right before the braking zone. Now he's into P5. There is no stopping for Gerbal's charge through the entire field. Now Allenby will be his next victim. Already 1/10.5 separating the two of them, and he still tries to take the slipstream through the entire track. And now does he stick it in the inside, down the inside of turn 5? Yes, they are still wheel to wheel going on turn 5, and with just some slight wheel banging, and Gerbal backs out. He backs out before turn 7. He knows that that is too much of a risky move. Yellow flags for not sure who. And you can see now Reese defending in P3. He currently cannot attack flanking behind. He just has to defend from these 3-4 hungry cars right behind him. Reese will be completely slowed down on the straight, as he may get overtaken by 2, maybe even 3 cars. Oh, Falcon with an oversteer around the last corner, and he's going backwards. Now he's on the grass, and he's been overtaken by everyone on the main straight. Falcon with a costly mistake down in P11. Oversteer around the last corner. That's definitely not what he wanted. Now he gets overtaken by Quaxel, and almost Bevino Romy as well down the inside of turn 13, but Falcon still tries to hang it on the inside. Another oversteer taking the curb, and what a mistake by Falcon. He will be so mad about that one. That has cost him so many positions, and if there is no safety car, then might have compromised this race completely down the turret. As now Gerbal is in P3. There is just no stopping for him. He's just overtaking absolutely everyone where he can and when he can. Yellow flags for Bevino Holmy. Bevino Holmy is struggling. He has gone off quite some times now already after 8 laps. EGT has to go on the grass to avoid hitting him. We don't know if that will be looked at by the stewards, but we'll see after the race. Now Gerbal, look at that. There is absolutely nothing anyone can do. He gets the fastest lap. He has the DRS on the inside now into turn 1, and look at that. Just absolutely nothing the Sauber can do. He's still behind. Fair enough, but he's feeling more of the pressure of Allenby behind than the pressure of Gerbal ahead of him. As now Allenby wheel to wheel on the inside of turn 4. And now around the outside of turn 5, he has to go a little bit wide to leave the space, and he has a snap oversteer, which gives the position to Flanken very easily. And now yellow flags for Max in P13, slowing down to through turn 3. But I've had some oversteer, and yes, well, the curbs actually can unsettle your car very quickly, very often. So it is not rare to see all of these yellow flags being waved around the entire track. Now Allenby and Reese are fighting for P4, and Reese is the last one of this DRS train. He still has a lot of battery left. He has the DRS, but so does Allenby ahead of him, so there isn't exactly a lot he can gain. Allenby backs out of the inside of Flanken before turn 1. He gains some distance with the DRS, which is obviously going to be useful. Yellow flags again for Max. Max struggling to keep the car on track. Now in P14 being overtaken by Falcon. EJT is into the pits. The Mercedes, I think it might be a strategic pit stop. And we have Max spinning once again. Definitely a race to forget for him after these 10 laps. EGT is pitting for the hards, so yeah, it might not be long enough before we see now even Quaxo on the softs be back into the pits shortly. But now let's see the gaps between Jebel and Aiden Jones, because if you can remember, the gaps were, oh, there's someone spinning behind. It's a Mercedes, it's Cam spinning at turn 9, and he has a damaged front wing, a lot of damage for the Mercedes. He's now gonna have to go back into the pits to change the front wing. Probably going to the end with the hard tires, and yeah, another compromise result for the Mercedes. Now Quaxel were to find his way around very quickly to avoid losing time. But now let's go back to the top. Allenby is fighting with Flanken very actively now through turn 3. Now it is Reese who can finally attempt an overtake. Now on the inside of turn 4, still wheel to wheel with Flanken. Reese stays on the inside and Flanken slows down a lot around turn 4. Now he's down into P5. And Gerbal in P2 with all of this battling behind him, but that pace is just so magnificent. It was 2.8 seconds just barely 2 laps ago. Look at that. It is just 1.2 seconds. I won't be surprised if Gerbal has DRS already on this lap, if he can gain so much time through the uphill section of turn 10, 11 and 12, and even downhill in 13 and 14. Can it be enough to already have DRS? Maybe just about out of DRS. Just about not in the 1 second gap, but it will not be long before Gerbal actually overtakes Aiden. But now Reese overtakes Allenby. He's now into the podium position. Now it's a double podium for Williams, which will surely be a lovely result for constructors. Red Bull and McLaren will be struggling a lot constructors wise, because they have only one driver, while Williams have 2 very solid drivers who are currently on the podium, both of them. And now it is a 1-3, but will it be a 1-3? It will surely not, if we see the pace of Gerbal just gaining at every single possible corner. But Aiden Jones, we know him, we know he will not give that up, we know he will try everything he can to defend against the Raging Polish. Just made up a nickname there. But look at the gaps, they are so close now. Just under 3/10. There isn't much Aiden can do. He does not have the DRS, and Gerbal just completely flies past him. So Aiden Jones is gonna try and burn a lot of energy to stay behind him and to not lose DRS, because he knows he has the skill to be up there. But P2 is not what he wants. He wants that P1, and obviously he's gonna try everything he can to get just that. Reese has been overtaken by Allenby, so now he's down to only 1 Williams on the podium. Tate is pitting now, going on the hard compound, and Falcon is just behind him on his slow charge back to the front of the field. Now in P11, yellow flags for Baby Don't Hurt Me. Well, again, Baby Don't Hurt Me, who was in great shape some races ago, but just completely lost the momentum and is struggling a lot now. Reese has made a move on Allenby. Allenby being very far behind Reese. He's almost losing DRS, so it might have, oh yeah, he is wobbling around the track, so it might have been that who caused that. There is an Aston Martin on the track. It is a full course safety car! Full course safety car, and this is crucial. Max was on the gravel, he hasn't crashed, but he has still caused the full course safety car, and for Allenby this is perfect. He got the perfect timing to go into the pits and attempt to go with the hards to the end of this race, and all the drivers ahead of him will have to pit for the hards as well. The two Williams are back on the podium with Aiden Jones and Reese. Aiden Jones will love this because he now has a chance again of attacking Gerbal. The entire grid will be so bunched up, so close to one another. So yeah, drivers into the pits. Some are going on the hards and some are going on the mediums. Falcon is going for fresh mediums. And he can afford that because he started on the hards, had to change to the mediums, and now he's with another set of fresh mediums. Actually, Falcon's strategy might be the best one, because by starting on the hard, he has now made the mandatory compound change, while all these top 4 has not, and they will have to go with the hards. But sorry. But I was saying, with about 16 laps left, 15 laps left, the mediums will actually have an advantage on the hards, so Falcon might actually have the fastest tire. The medium runners are now the one with the fastest tire and with the best strategy, so Falcon's race might not be over. He can still have a chance of going back to the front, and now with the grid all stacked up behind the safety car, he will definitely be much easier for him to do that. So the first drivers are now stacking up behind the safety car. We now have U Division as well pitting for the mediums. So we can now see the rest of the cars approaching the safety car train, as you now have the Ferrari of Denison, the V-Carb of Tate, and the Sauber of Marvin. Next will be the... Oh, actually there is Max. Max slapped the car. He's in the middle of the pack. Max in P15 has been lapped and is now behind the Sauber of Marvin in P8, so it will be extra traffic for Falcon to get through. So now Falcon will see the Aston Martin ahead of him, and he won't be exactly loving that, knowing that he has a lap car to overtake ahead of him. I mean, fair enough, lap cars are ghosting anyway, so not exactly that big of a deal. What's big of a deal though is the extra distance from the actual opponent he has ahead. He can ghost through Max, that's for sure, but he has more distance to recover from Marvin just ahead of him. But at the same time, from Marvin upwards, they all have the worst strategy compared to Falcon. So I still think Falcon can go on a quite big comeback after his mistake around the final corner oversteer, which is It's very common, it can happen quite often. Oversteer through there, then you try to correct it, and without you even knowing, probably you're already into the gravel and oversteering all over the entire place. And what is happening to Gerbal? Gerbal is on the gravel. Gerbal went off track under a safety car. I don't know what happened there. Was it a mistake? Did he get tapped? I am not sure what happened there, but the fact is that Gerbal is in P7 and safety car is in this lap. So Aiden Jones once again will lead the safety car restart, but now the drivers behind him will be Allenby and Flanken, his main opponents, and maybe even Reese if he can get a good restart too, but it still will be Aiden. Weaving across the final corner, and does he go later, does he go earlier than his previous restart? He goes just like the previous restart, just before the finish line. The race has officially started on lap 17 of the Spanish Grand Prix, and Allenby does not have the overspeed to get past, but Denilson actually tries to, Reese with a massive spin. Reese went too much on the outside. He has hit the grass with the most outside tire. He spins and now he's in P14. Absolute heartbreak for Reese. Now he's gonna have to gain a lot of distance to the restart train ahead of him. A horrible time for Reese. He spins again through turn 3 and he might have got wind damage. Falcon as well. Falcon is into the wall. Falcon has gone deep. After turn 5 he has a broken front wing, a virtual safety car. Absolute nightmare of a race for Falcon, as now the race has been neutralized for the 3rd time. And I have no idea what happened to Falcon. He's completely missing his front wing. Reese going too much on the outside through turn 2 and spinning, and Falcon for some reason going completely deep after turn 5 and into the wall. He has no front wing. Absolute race to forget for Falcon. He had that very... Oh, we actually have a full car safety car again. We have now 3 safety cars in the Spanish Grand Prix. So not all hope is lost for Falcon, but still he lost a lot of positions. And also a lot of tire advantage, because now the hard runners, Reese gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. Race to forget for Reese as well. And 10-second penalty, yeah, he's retiring. Absolute nightmare for him. He does not want to go forward. Falcon is going on the softs, interestingly. And Falcon now is being screwed over with the strategy. Falcon has been screwed over because he used all the 2 mediums. He used the medium compound twice, so he didn't have fresh mediums. Now he's gonna be forced to try and stretch these softs all the way to the end. And yeah, you will have the advantage at the restart, but later on the wear will be so massive, you just don't gain anything. You lose more than you gain. So absolute nightmare here for McLaren. Many important points lost in the constructors battle. And for Williams as well, with Reese retiring, he will leave Aiden Jones with more work to do to try and get the constructors trophy out of the hands of pretty much Gerbal instead of Red Bull. I mean, if we look at the statistics, if you look at the standings, I mean, we can say Red Bull is Gerbal. His teammates didn't do that much, to be honest. His teammate just he doesn't even have a teammate. He used to have one. He used to have one, but he just stopped racing, so Red Bull is pretty much trying to live on Gerbal and reserve drivers. But again, it could have been a double points finish for Williams, maybe even a double podium if everything went good. But Reese's retirement will definitely compromise that. So the game still says virtual safety car, despite the fact that we can clearly see the safety car out on track, being ahead of Aiden Jones. I miss Jaden. Jaden, if you're listening, I miss you. I want you back into the commentary box. Safety car is in this lap for the third time here in Spain. And for all three of these safety car restarts, it has always been Aiden Jones in the lead, controlling the pack behind him. And Allen by now will have a second chance to get a better run on the Williams and try something, maybe into zone 1, 2 or 3. If he can get a better run just before the line, we could see moves happen. Now, once again, weaving for the tires. Where does he restart now? Will it be the same spot over there? Ooh! Aiden Jones tried to restart very earlier during the last corner, but had a massive oversteer. And now Allenby has the chance to actually get the better run. Now Allenby gets the outside line of turn 1. Can he get through the Williams? No, he can't. He still has to settle for P2, and there's a Ferrari going off. It is Denison with a horrible restart. And now Quaxel is in P7, Baby Horny in P6. Quaxel now fighting with Marvin side by side into 3, and Quaxel might have some wing damage. I think he's missing the left end plate. Now he's being tapped by Univision behind. Falcon trying everything he can with his very aggressive restart on the softs. EJT yellow flags, and Falcon with a rear lock. Absolute nightmare for Falcon. He just cannot go through turn 5. Turn 5 has been such a curse for Falcon through qualifying and through the entirety of the race as well. He just cannot get through the corner without some mistake or some bad luck. Absolute nightmare for him. He has the softs, but he's struggling to get through traffic. Now he goes down the inside of Cam to get P11, but now he has Denison, Quatsu division, so many cars ahead of him yet to overtake. Let's go back to the lead as EJT spins once again around turn 11. DRS is enabled. Allenby does not have DRS yet because the detection point was before the end of the lap, but he's still trying to stay behind. Now Falcon gets past the Ferrari. He's now in P10. Next up is Quaxel in P9, just 5 tenths ahead of him. EJT returning in pit lane. The Mercedes driver, or reserve actually, didn't want to continue. So now we are down to 3 DNFs here in Spain. Now Gerbal is all the way behind the gearbox of Allenby. He can get a move done pretty quickly. Now Falcon gets past. He's in P9, but he gets a track limits penalty. Falcon just he's just absolutely hating this race. Everything is happening to him, but in a negative way. Now he also has the track limits penalties. Absolute race to forget for him. He just keeps getting bad luck after bad luck. So definitely not something he wants to remember. Now let's go back to the soft 3, because now crucially Allenby and Gerbal both have DRS. Can Allenby get past Aiden? Can Gerbal get past Allenby and Aiden as well? No, we will not see any move happen beside from Marvin going past Baby No Horny before turn 1. And we have EJT retiring on track actually. So maybe the AI kept going on after the retirement in the pit lane. Now Falcon is in P8, so next up is Baby No Horny for him to overtake. Obviously with a very aggressive stint on those softs, but the penalty as well, and all the mistakes and bad luck he had earlier, just he kept getting screwed over and over again. absolutely not what he was looking for at the Spanish Grand Prix. Eddie Jones now has a train of 3 cars behind him, all 3 of them extremely hungry for position, while one is hungry for a championship, and that one is in P3, just in between the Sauber and the Haas. Aiden Jones gets a 3-second penalty, and that can be crucial. Aiden Jones, with a costly mistake, he has now compromised his chances of a race win, as he also gets passed by Allenby, but he still tries to hang it. They are still going side by side. Now Gerbal might actually try and find a gap somewhere. In the meanwhile, we can see Falcon going up into P6. Now there is Marvin just ahead of him, but now Aiden Jones, who was looking so good, who was just 1,000 of pole position, he now has a track limit penalty, which could very much cost him the win and even the podium if this 4-car train stays like this. Right now it is Allenby who is leading the Grand Prix, and Flanken is all the way down to, I don't know what happened, maybe a glitch. Baby Don't Hurt Me is off, getting the wall, and virtual safety car. We have yellow flags now for the 4th time. Baby No Hurt Me goes off at turn 8, gets the wall on the left hand side, completely destroys his front wing. Virtual safety car for now. So the drivers can rest up a little bit, but Falcon has been on a huge recovery drive, now in P5, but let's remember he still has the penalty. So he needs to absolutely abuse all of the grip those soft tires have, because not only he will have to get past, he will have to create a gap, which is extremely difficult. But it's P5 for now, not everything is lost for him. Baby No Hurt Me going into the pits, obviously, to change his front wing, and will very likely go to the soft. No, he goes for the mediums. Why would you go for the mediums? And oh, drive-through penalties. I think we have multiple drive-through penalties for speeding under virtual safety car. Where do I see it? Yes, we have 2 drive-through penalties for Dennison and Quaxel for speeding, for going over the delta speed limit under virtual safety car. So another compromise result for these 2 drivers. Now Allenby, who is effectively in the lead of this race, Allenby knows he cannot afford to make any mistake or to get track limits or to spin or lock up or whatever, because right now he is indeed leading the Spanish Grand Prix, but there is a very hungry Gerbal just behind him, who is as well as hungry for the win as Allenby is. They both have the RS, so they will both have the run on Aiden Jones on the main straight. Now Allenby chooses the inside line, and yellow flags for an Aston Martin, I think, is Max probably. And now Allenby gets past Aiden Jones and Gerbal. He's being slightly held up by Aiden Jones. This can be a chance for Allenby to try and pull off a gap. Max in the pit lane, double Aston Martin pit stop in the meanwhile. So yeah, another race to forget for Aston Martin, consolidating their P10 in constructors. Unfortunate for them. Now Falcon is in P4. He is gaining, and is gaining quick. He is flying, he is cooking, he is overtaking everyone. I don't think it will be long before he can overtake Gerbal, because Gerbal has slow tires. I mean, 10 laps all the hards are slow, but the softs as well, after 7 laps, they could be very slow. But now Aiden Jones and Gerbal are fighting for position side by side, and contact between them as well through turn 12. Now Gerbal still stays behind at turn 13. Allenby needs to use this chance to pull off a gap. He has to defend. He cannot afford Gerbal to get past. Falcon gets the fastest lap. He is hungry. He is right there. Now with the DRS, 4 cars battling at turn 1. Allenby still defends against Gerbal. Aiden just gets the lead, but what is crucial now, it is for Allenby to be ahead of Gerbal. He does not want to get overtaken. He cannot get overtaken. He needs to defend the position as quick as possible, and Falcon cannot afford to get slowed down as much, because he needs to get past this traffic and then to create a gap to get the best position he can the best position he can keep. He cannot afford to be behind Gerbal for this long. But now Gerbal, look at that with a massive overspeed, now sending it on the inside of turn 12 of Arenberg. Arenberg still trying to hang in it around the outside, a little bit of snap over steer for the Red Bull of Gerbal, who is still battling side by side, and Arenberg maintains position once again, and Gerbal, he will have to wait, and he won't gain much on Arenberg, because Arenberg as well have the RS. He needs to get past. He tries to break the slipstream, but it looks like Gerbal is faster, and through goes Falcon. He overtakes them both on the main straight. Now he's in P2, and Arenberg and Gerbal are now fighting for P3 and P4 on track, because now Angels and Falcon, the two fighters for pole position, they both have track limits penalties, but look at Falcon. Falcon is absolutely flying, getting past Arenberg and Gerbal on the main straight at the same time. Now Marvin as well, he's back into the fight for the podium. This can be very important points for Sauber. Now Gerbal fighting with Arenberg, but no, Arenberg still stays ahead. Arenberg, he's pulling off a masterclass at defending against the reigning world champion here in Spain. And also not losing time to Falcon just ahead of him, despite the massive tire advantage that the McLaren has. Still 5 tenths separating the two of them, so DRS still very much enabled for all of these cars. And now Gerbal is actually having to actively work for this overtake. But let's see now. He has the DRS, he is using energy, now he flies past the house of Arenberg. Now he's effectively entering this race, but look at Arenberg! Arenberg is setting it down the inside of turn 1. He does not want to give the position to Arenberg, and he goes slightly off track. Arenberg with a little bit of runoff on the outside. Now he gets attacked by Marvin, who is holding the outside line. Can Arenberg still ascend the inside of Gerbal? Not quite, he tried to outbrake him, but it's still not enough. Yellow flags are being waited for a V-cab back there, but we are watching this beautiful fight for the win. Arenberg, who was pulling off a masterclass at defending, now he has to pull off a masterclass at attacking, because he's always there. He's oh no! Arenberg with a spin! Arenberg with an oversteer at turn 8. Heartbreak for Arenberg, as he now is in P6 and he spins again. Now he's onto the grass in P9. Costly mistake for Arenberg. He could have been a win, but now it is completely flushed down the toilet. Absolutely heartbreaking result for Arenberg. That mistake right there has cost him a race win. Absolutely feel sorry for the guy. He was putting off an immense job against the Red Bull of Gerbal, and that's such a shame to see him there. Now Falcon fighting on track for the lead of the race, but we know it is not the real lead, because track limits penalties as well for both of them. And Falcon now on those 11 laps all softs, he might actually start to struggle. And despite the tire edge, it didn't look like he was struggling anywhere during his stint. He was still putting off crazy lap time, absolutely flying throughout the entire track. But now with 11 laps, he might actually start to suffer the effects from that massive tire wear that the soft compound has. And again, the hard runners as well have a lot of tire on those white colored Pirelli compound, but the tire wear on the hards is significantly less than the softs, despite the bigger tire age. Now Gerbal has the DRS of both the cars. Falcon gets ahead, and Gerbal is obviously trying to never go out of the slipstream, following very closely, and he almost saw a gap there in turn 3 on the inside, but still not enough. But he cannot afford to risk that much, because at this point he's winning the race and winning the championship, so there isn't there isn't all of this rush feeling to get past. He knows he can just stay behind, just bring it home, to bring home not only 25 points to his name, but also a 4th title to his name. We thought he would have come in Japan. I thought he would have come in Japan, but oh, Falcon has been spun round. Falcon again with bad luck, just completely striking him through the entire race. Now he's in P4 and he will lose that P4 to flank and Tate and come just behind him. Absolute nightmare of a race. This might actually be the worst race I've seen from Falcon, not necessarily because of his fault. Many incidents, now he's onto the gravel. I mean, not all of his incidents were caused by himself, but I mean, he might have spun like 5 or 6 times, just absolutely race to forget for him. Not the Falcon we know, and not the Falcon he knows himself. He knows himself that's not him, and that's not where he belongs in P9. Could have been up there, should have been up there, but I mean, it's such a shame to see him down there. I mean, Falcon and Ironby, it's a huge shame to see them down there. They were putting off a masterclass of performance, but wasn't enough. And I'd say this has been Falcon is spinning his run once again now, downhill into turn 6. But now we are on the cameras to Gerbal, now starting the penultimate lap here around Spain. And let me see the gap to leader, because Alien just actually might still keep that P2. The gap oh no, wait, I'm stupid. Oh yes, I'm stupid. But actually no, because if you look at the interval, 2.7 seconds between Marvin and Eddie Jones. So Marvin still has a chance to get P2 out of Eddie Jones after the penalty applies, but Eddie Jones as well. It doesn't look like he's going slow. He also has the DRS of Gerbal to help him to actually maintain that P2. But what definitely won't happen is a double sour podium, because Flanken is just way too much behind. Now 2.9, so Eddie Jones actually might defend that P2. Oh wait, oh, Gerbal has a penalty! Gerbal has got a track limit penalty on the penultimate lap. Now this is crucial, because Alien Jones now actually has a chance of getting the race win. Gerbal will still be world champion after this race, but now Alien Jones, he is now back into the fight for P1 here around Spain. He had a massive overspeed with the DRS and he got so close. Now they're just 3 tenths separating the Red Bull and the Williams. These two are giving it absolutely everything, not for the drivers but for the constructors. The entire team are relying on these two drivers, and Alien Jones, he's pushing for his dear life to try and get past Gerbal somewhere, to try and be faster than him at some corner, but Gerbal, he's still pulling off. Now 4 tenths and a half, now 5. It looks like Gerbal, he's pulling off magnificently, but Aiden Jones will now have the DRS. Will he make a crazy lunge? No, he's way too far back to do just that. He will have to settle for P2 only. The track limit penalty was the last hope for Aiden to get the race win, but in the end, it is always the driver that we always know, that we always are used to see in P1, and he does just that in brilliant fashion, as not only wins the race, but he now mathematically claims the 4th championship to his name. Gerbal is now officially, we can say that, he is now officially a 4-time world champion, 4 times in a row, the only world champion in Sunday League F1. He started from last and has cut through the field as he was absolutely nothing. There is nothing you can do to stop him, and he claims this 4th title in fantastic fashion. absolutely fantastic drive, and you can just be amazed by his driving every time you see that. Every time you see him out on track, you are just stunned by the performance the Polish driver always puts out on track. Now in the Red Bull, claiming the fourth title, and wow, I have to say we can just stand here and appreciate the brilliant performance and the brilliant talent this driver has, because he has now shown that 4 times in a row he gets the driver of the day, and I couldn't agree more. Although it is absolutely such a shame to see Allenby and Felkan not there, close to Gerbal. Out of all the fighters for the win, it could have been Gerbal, it could have been Adrian Jones, it could have been Allenby, and it could have been Felkan, but it was only Adrian Jones to stick right behind him. But now Gerbal, he gets the trophy, he looks at it because he knows it is not only a race win, it is a championship, and it is history being made in this league. And to his name, he will remember this race, I think, for a long time during his career, and that's how Gerbal gets the 4th title in a row. Congratulations to him, and absolutely fantastic drive, fantastic season he has had, and absolutely speechless to the talent this guy has. Constructors still very much open. Obviously Red Bull will be gaining a lot of points on Williams, actually not that much, just 7 points, so the fight is still on for Brazil, the last race of the season next week, which will have the sprint. But now these are the results. Gerbal from P16 wins the race, Adrian Jones in P2, Marvin P3, Flanken P4, Tate P5, Camp P6, U-Division P7, Allenby P8, Baby Noharm in P9, and Quaxel actually gets a point for Aston Martin, running off the top 10, and Felkan gets the fastest lap, but in P11 he will not count for McLaren. And wow, what a race this was. It was an absolutely insane fight for both pole position and the race win between so many cars. It was absolutely exciting to see, and obviously what was even more exciting to see was the way that Gerbal got his 4th championship, and I am absolutely speechless. So once again, beautiful effort from him, and is now officially done. This has been the Spanish Grand Prix, the penultimate round of this absolutely brilliant season 4 we've had so far, and now we couldn't close this season any better in Brazil next week with a sprint format as well. Absolutely fantastic track, a track that has decided many championships in league racing and also real Formula 1, so there is no doubt we'll get an extremely exciting race in Brazil next week, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what action we will have. Until that, have a good rest of the week. Gerbal will surely have a good rest of the week. My name is BS Gabri. Thank you for tuning in tonight's stream, and I will see you again next week in Brazil. Goodbye everyone, and have a nice week.